Welcome back to Spellbreaker for the ones who are ready to break the spell and live free. In this episode, I take you onto the journey how I came to question the illusion of normal, the spell of normal, and what changed that in my life. So I was a very shy child, a quiet child, only happy running around climbing trees in nature. But as soon as I was with people, I was very quiet, watching the world, trying to find out what's the right way to behave, to function, to always in alert. And today I know that I was perceiving the thoughts, feelings, and emotions of other people, that I was perceiving their judgments, their doubt, their bodily feelings, their confusion, the misalignment between their words and their energy. And I tried to get all that clear, and I didn't. And later, I was a very rebellious teenager, still the same thing, perceiving a lot, not in alignment, I felt the mismatch, the gap, and fighting everything in all directions. So this was not the best choice, not a huge contribution to my life, but still it was what it was. And today I know that these were the two poles that were fighting for a long time till I explored and stopped doing that. When I was 16, a friend of mine told me, I will never forget that. A friend of mine told me that I will become always the people who are around me. And this was an insult, and I got it as an insult. And it hurt me a lot. But at the same time, I knew, and I know today, that she was right. That she was talking about one of my greatest superpowers that I used against myself because I didn't acknowledge it, and it was unconscious, and I used it against other people as well. So there was this one side of me that was always, I cannot recall a time where I wasn't. I was always acknowledging what I knew, parts of what I knew, let's put it like that. And there was this huge other part of me that was just diving into the world of all other people around me, making it to myself, also thinking it was me or fighting against it. These were the two things, aligning and agreeing to things that were not mine or fighting against. And basically, this was the first 30 years of my life. And then my two children were born, as one after the other, two sons. And this is an example also for what I acknowledged as my knowing, because from the first moment in both pregnancies, from the first moment on, I knew I was pregnant, really from the first moment. And I also knew from the first moment their sex, that they are boys. I just knew that. And everybody told me I cannot know that, but I just knew. And for myself, I knew whatever you will tell me, I know. And can it be a coincidence? Sure, because it is a 50-50 chance. But in this case, I know what I know. And in other settings, I was just jumping into the wishes, the desires, the ideas of other people. And looking back, there is not much regret, because I experienced a lot of interesting things. I was learning to drive a four-wheel drive into really difficult grounds. I was traveling the world for 1.5 years and really traveling to interesting countries, many, many countries, but also, for example, the Middle East, all the countries that are in the news today, Syria, Israel, Gaza, Lebanon, Jordan, Iran. I traveled them. I met the people. I was invited in private houses. I saw the gap between what was in the media and what I saw in real life, and that has had nothing to do or not much to do with each other. So these were all gifts. Later, I went to the Swiss mountains with a friend. It was her dream to milk cows, to make cheese, a whole summer with our 5 children. It was one of the toughest experiences in my life and one of the most beautiful. So there is nothing to regret about that. But still, it was a game changer to find out that all these things were perceptions. I perceived their excitement, their passion, their wish, their wanting to do, and I made it to mine. And another thing that led to really changing my perception of the world was the birth of my children, because they were both quite technical in different ways. And I knew that this is not the kind of care and as a medical care and what I want for my children and for my family. And no right or wrong there. There are great doctors out there, great things to do in the medical field. So it's not about right or wrong, just what I chose. And from that moment on, I really chose more what I knew, what came from my knowing. And I had the space for that because I was busy with my 2 children, but at the same time, I had the space to just follow my rhythm, their rhythm, what we know, what I know. So this changed a lot, and I was also becoming way more self-aware in these times. So these were the 2 poles, and today I know this is the there. On one hand, we are these infinite beings with infinite possibilities that can choose infinite. And this is what many methods teach. And this is good and this is right. And I believe that. But there is the other side. This is our body. And we chose to have our body. And also the being chose to have a body. And we came into this body with in a certain setting, in a family, in a country, in an environment, in a social environment, in a religious setting, in an area, in all kinds of things influenced who we are. And this is also fact. And I was diving in so many methods, and there was either the one or the other. And also, if both things were considered, there was a misalignment for me. So I was told that I can choose everything, but it just didn't work in many instances. At the other side, I created miracles in my life, but I couldn't repeat them. And I was studying how to manifest, how to change my identity, how to jump timelines, how to create reality. And it's like I feel that I know everything about it, and still it was not always possible. And so I started to investigate on that. And what I found out that it was really a game changer for me when I started to really know who I am. And there are many ways to find out, and it would lead too far to really look at all the kinds of things. But there are astrology and human design and Akasha and all kinds of things lead to that. There are many others as well. It's a process to find out, but there are shortcuts to that, because it's not necessary to study astrology to find out. But there are certain common things that if you acknowledge them and know them and relax into that and don't want to change it, then from there you have this foundation from where you can choose. And I will give you one example from my life. Also in human design, I have what is called this undefined throat center. And what that means is that I can perceive many perspectives. I can talk from many perspectives. I have a very broad range of things I can talk from. And I'm not very precise with things. I'm not very on point with things. And learning that relaxed everything in me, because I was judging myself so badly. I was always adoring people who could just bring things to the point, have their argument clear and sharp and always ready. And I was not like that, never. Sometimes I can and sometimes I can't, and then I have to think about it. And in human design, I started to look at in my family what their throat center is, and I saw that this is really a pattern. If you have that, it's like that, and if you have it not, you can. It's just the one and the other, and none is better or worse. It's just what it is. And I stopped trying to be something that I'm not. And what I also, for so many years, I was trying to heal my throat chakra. And okay, I made I had some success with that. My voice became clearer and stuff. And at the same time, I cannot heal what is just mine. I cannot heal it away because it's just there. It is healed because this is what I am. And from there, if I relax into that, I can choose beyond that. But not if I fight it, if I want to be something else. This was an example from my life where I always tried to be something else. And as long as I just were making peace with this part of me, and there are so many others. So for me, this is the foundation. And as we are, and coming back to the topic of being normal, we are so used to feeling wrong, judge ourselves, be ashamed of certain things of our body or our being. And this is a very old program. We know now that we are inherit that from our ancestors, but this is very, very old. It's not just the last centuries. This is way, way older. And in this paradigm shift we are experiencing at the moment, it's all screaming out. It wants to be healed. And so if you feel very wrong, again, maybe you were already over that and it's coming back. It's because of that. Because the whole world is screaming for changing that. So also no right or wrong that. It's just an old paradigm, and if we acknowledge that, okay, I perceive this wrongness, I perceive the shame, I perceive the guilt of my ancestors being German, I perceive all these things, but I don't have to make it to mine. What I can do is just see the trigger in my world, see what it creates in my world, and just choose from there. So the normal thing to do out there is acting from the pain point, acting from the trauma, acting from the wound that is not even yours. It belongs to your maybe grandmother. So this is what happens everywhere, and it's considered as normal. The drama is considered as normal. You don't even feel your emotion yourself. We are numb to our emotions very often, and we are searching the drama outside, many of us. You just have to open social media and you will find it everywhere. So this is also not normal today. So this is also the next step, to stop stepping into the drama and see what really is. And this is something I will talk in my next episode about. How to step out of drama mode, what it requires to really know who you are, acknowledge who you are, and many other things. So if you want to start to explore that, in the show notes you will find the truth code activation, so where you can find out some of the truths in your world that you maybe were hiding from yourself. It's free. Check it out if this speaks to you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening, and hopefully see you soon. If this episode stirred something in you, share it, speak it, don't file it away. And if you're ready to go deeper, download the Truth Code Activation. It's free, it's raw, and it's built to shake loose what's no longer yours. See you next time, and until then, stay real, stay weird, stay free.
I'm Michelle Abraham, founder of the High Vibe Podcast Network, and we're honored to have Sylvia Schulz Spellbreaker Show as part of our network family. For more inspiring shows like this one, visit highvibepodcastnetwork.com. And don't forget to grab your free gifts from our host in the gift vault. Stay high vibe and keep sharing your light.